place for your amazing host.
Hey everyone, welcome to Sandals Church Kids. Here at Sandals Church, we are all about the vision of being real with ourselves, God, and others. My name is Joelle.
And I'm Chanel. This week, we're excited for week 2 of The Outline. Today, we're going to take a closer look at the beginning of the universe. It all takes place in Genesis chapter 1, verses 1 through 25, the very first verses of the Bible.
We'll see how God is our creator and the only uncreated being, and how he created us for good. It is going to be awesome, and I can't wait to see what's next.
Coming up.
Find out what happens when I find a boatload of blocks.
I don't actually know what happens when you fill a boat with blocks, but I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what Mrs. Coyote plans to do.
But first, it's time to move on to one of my favorite segments called Mail Time.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Mail Time. I'm so glad that you've joined us here today, and I can't wait to see what is coming my way with your letters. But first, I want to tell you guys about something I've been trying this week, and that has been kind of a new drawing challenge. So the challenge is this: to take your pencil or pen, to put it on your paper, and to draw something without ever taking the pen off. It's actually pretty challenging because you can never lift the pen off the paper, but my challenge to you is to draw something without ever lifting your pen off the paper and see what you can come up with. But right now, let's jump into our mail. All right, so I have 2 letters that we're going to open. The first was emailed to us, and it says Brent. So to all the Brents, this is from you. Dear Sandals Church Kids, we love watching church with you and learning with you guys. Can you please draw a panda eating bamboo? Thank you. Whoa, challenge accepted. All right, Brent, that is my panda eating bamboo. Hopefully you like it. I'll send it your way, and thank you for that challenge. I love when you guys give me something new to draw, something to chew on, no pun intended, and to try something new. All right, and our second letter comes from Holland from Riverside. It says, not like the country. I'm not kidding. There's stickers that says, Holland, not like the country. So good, Holland. Okay, ooh, there's lots of stuff in here. Whoa, ooh, look at this. Holland drew Robot Jeff. Holland drew Helga. Holland drew a flower. Oh my goodness, Holland, these are so good. I love your drawings. I like that they're bite-sized. This is a good wallet drawing. Parents, ask Holland to draw you some more drawings because these are good drawings to put in your wallet. And then someday when you get a new wallet, you're gonna see what Holland drew and you're gonna have a tear because she's gonna be way older and you're gonna go, oh, Holland, I love your drawing. So Holland, you need to draw some of these for your parents. And that's not it. We also have a note. It says, Dear Sandals Church Kids, I love watching your videos. Mr. Coyote, can you draw a unicorn for me? And look, there's more drawings on here. I can see Robot Jeff and Helga. And check this out, on the back, I think Holland drew a unicorn. A very colorful rainbow unicorn, so good. Well, yes, Holland, I will absolutely draw you a unicorn, and I'm gonna send it your way, but I also wanna send you our unicorn sticker. If you didn't know, we had a vote where we asked Sandals Church kids to vote on the next sticker they wanted us to make, and they chose the unicorn. So yes, of course, I will draw you a unicorn, but I'm also gonna send you the sticker. And here is my challenge for you. What is the next sticker we should make? This is the choice that you have before you. Let us know on Instagram, or you can email us if you want to, and let us know. Maybe it's gonna be the bamboo eating panda bear. I don't know. But I think you guys should decide on what is the next sticker we should make, because whatever you choose, you will get if you send us some mail. And for those of you who would love to receive mail from us, or even send us mail with challenges and things that you want us to do, questions you want us to answer, there are 2 awesome, easy ways to do that. The first is to send mail to 150 Palmerita Avenue, Riverside, California, 92507, or you can email us at mail@sandalskids.com. Whichever one you guys choose, we would love to read your mail, and we would love to send you an assortment of fun stickers from Sandals Kids. But right now, let's jump into our pre-show.
What is up, friends? Today we are talking about something super fun, and that is collections. Now, maybe you guys collect something unique. Maybe you collect something like rocks, or you collect spoons, or you collect cards, or baseballs, or I don't know, toothbrushes. Who knows? Maybe you guys have a collection. Well, here's the deal. In front of us, as you see, we have a pretty huge collection of a certain fluffy, bean-filled item. Joelle, will you please tell us what is on this table?
All right, so this is actually one of my favorite things in the whole wide world, and it is Beanie Babies from the brand TY. So these are just some of my Beanie Babies from when I was a little girl, and this isn't even all of them.
I also noticed that you conveniently have one of those Beanie Babies hanging around your neck.
Yes.
You guys, in the 90s, these Beanie Babies were all the rage. And I was like, Mom, I gotta get to this store. I have to buy a Beanie Baby. The first Beanie Baby I bought was a purple hippo, and I think its name was Happy.
I do have 3 of the original 9 Beanie Babies. I have Squealer, Patty the Platypus, and Chocolate the Moose, who you guessed was also born in 1993. So 3 of the original 9.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so these have been around for so many years. Like you just heard, every single Beanie Baby has a birth date on their tag. So those little red tags, it would list their birth date, and it would always have a poem about the Beanie Baby.
Ran into Patty one day while walking. Believe me, she wouldn't stop talking. Listened and listened to her speak. That would explain her extra large beak.
I love it.
So sweet.
Okay, so all of these have poems. The one thing that I loved doing was figuring out which Beanie Baby had the same birthday as me. So if you notice, every single Beanie Baby has that red signature tag with the brand TY on it. Now, back in the day when these things started being made and you could buy them, one of the things that society believed was that at some point 20 years down the road, these Beanie Babies would be worth millions of dollars, and all of us could afford to go to college, and all of us would live in mansions that were lined with walls of Beanie Babies. That didn't happen. But one of the things that was important that kept these Beanie Babies valuable was making sure the red tag stayed on. Now, you might buy a stuffed animal, you might even buy a shirt, and they always have tags. You cut them off. That's like what you do. We don't like tags because they're itchy and they're bothersome, and if you're gonna play with a toy, we don't need tags in the way. But you had to leave the red tag on.
That's right.
Case in point, a few years ago, my daughter was like 3 years old, and I showed her one of my Beanie Babies from when I was a kid. Now, my bad. I made the mistake of leaving her alone with my Beanie Baby, and she pulled the tag off.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, all of you moms and dads who had Beanie Babies as kids, I know all of us died a little bit inside. They're not worth anything. Like, you can buy a Beanie Baby on Amazon today for like $8. So
That's right.
You should. It's great.
Yeah.
Joelle, please tell us your favorite Beanie Baby and why.
So the bears, like these series bears, were like some of my favorite things. And then my other favorite group was actually the chameleons, because they misprinted one of them, and his name was Rainbow, and I think it's this one. And he was supposed to be, I think, this color, and they misprinted him blue. So there was like a limited run made of one of them. I honestly don't remember the story, but these were gold to me because I was like, I have 4 of them. Maybe one of them is the one. I didn't really know.
Okay, so one other type of Beanie Baby I want to talk about, and you have a few here, There's some up front. There's like this tiny version of some of our classic Beanie Babies.
Minis.
Why are they smaller?
Back in the 90s, these got so popular, so McDonald's actually did a Happy Meal toy run, and people lined up in
was
the
crazy.
drive-thru in the stores trying to track them down.
Okay, Joelle, thank you so much for bringing in your collection. It's so fun. I definitely want to look at the rest of them because you definitely have some that I don't have, so I love it. I have something for you that I'd love to show you.
I'm excited.
And this is something exclusive that I actually stumbled upon not too long ago. Someone released something during the Beanie Baby days that I'd never seen until recently. And I want to show you what it is, and I want us to open it together.
I am so excited.
So here it is.
All right, friends, we're gonna jump into a time of worship together.
This is a great opportunity for you to really think about God and who He is, and also thank Him for all He's done for you.
Now's a chance for you to get real with yourself and with God. Maybe you had a bit of a crummy week and got in a fight with your mom or your dad, or maybe someone stole your favorite pencil or something. I don't know, but whatever it is, take some time right now to think about where you are. You might need to take a moment to pray with God, or you might be ready to jump in.
While you worship, feel free to close your eyes and raise your hands, or you might even just jump and clap and dance around a little bit. How you want to worship God is up to you as you think about your relationship with Him. Let's get ready to worship together.
Everything I ever needed, everything. You're a light in the darkness. You're water for my thirst and the craziness I see. You are holding everything, oh. You're everything I ever needed. All things were made through Him. Nothing was made without Him. In Him there is life. That life is light for the people of the world. You're the light of the world. You're the light of the world. When it feels like my life is caving in, you're holding it. You're everything I ever needed. All things were made through Him. Nothing was made without Him. In Him there is life. That life is light for the people of the world. You're the light of the world. You're the light of the world. You're the light of the world, yeah. You're the light of the world, yeah. You're the light of the world, yeah. You're the light of the world. You're the light of the world, yeah. You're the light of the world, yeah. You're the light of the world, yeah. You're the light of the world. All things were made through Him. Nothing was made without Him. In Him there is life. That life is light for the people of the world. All things were made through Him. Nothing was made without Him. In Him there is life. That life is light for the people of the world. You're the light of the world. You're the light of the world. You're the light of the world.
Today we're talking about the creation narration, all about the story of God creating the world. What would you say is your favorite thing to enjoy in nature?
I would say my favorite thing to enjoy in nature is pine trees. They smell so great and clean, and they remind me of Christmas.
Oh, Chanel, I love Christmas so much, and I love the smell of those trees. All right, and my favorite thing in nature is the ocean. And I am excited to hear more about the story of God creating the world.
Me too. In our series, The Outline, we're talking about the huge story of the Bible and our part in that story. We're going to see how God showed us his plan to love and save all of humanity from the very start, as early as creation.
This series will show us why we were created in the first place, what we are meant to do with our lives, why life can be so hard sometimes, and how we can't do it without God.
This week, we'll see how our story is tied to the entire story of the Bible by knowing that the whole Bible points to Jesus.
That means we can find the patterns, promises, and presence of Jesus in the Bible. So lean in because our story starts now.
Imagine if you could create your very own one-of-a-kind animal from scratch. One that has never, ever been thought up before by anyone else. Get creative. What would it look like? Would it have soft fur or jagged scales or prickly skin? Would it have wings to soar or fins to swim or super long legs? Would it have claws, a beak, teeth, a tail? Or maybe two tails? Would it be tall, slimy, fast, strong, cuddly, or smelly? But then, what would it sound like? And what would it eat? What would it do for fun? Can you picture it in your head right now? Now, be honest. Does it actually look kind of similar to another animal you've seen before? Probably. Or maybe it's a mixture of multiple animals that you like. If you were honest, you'd probably say, yeah, it looks like a couple of my favorite animals. And that's because it's actually quite impossible for us to create something that's not made up of parts of something else we've already seen. It's impossible for us to create something out of nothing. So let's see what the Bible has to say about creating something out of nothing. Now, before there was anything, the universe, the earth, humans, animals, cells, space, even time, before anything, there was God. Now just let that sink in for a second. No one created or made God. He has always existed. And then God spoke with only his words. He began to create everything we've seen and even the things we haven't seen yet. God spoke and suddenly there was light in a place that once had only ever been dark. Then he spoke air into existence, then land and oceans. He said he wanted there to be plants and the sun and the moon and the stars. And there they all were. Then God spoke again, and every kind of animal was made. Jellyfish, piranha, penguins, hummingbirds, elephants, platypi, chameleons, Komodo dragons, lightning bugs, dung beetles, all of them and many more were created by God's voice. Then God created humans too. Each time he created, God looked at what he made and called it good. God is beyond anything we can think or imagine. He is the only thing in the world that hasn't been created by something else. Now that blew my mind when I heard about that as a kid, and it still blows my mind today. How could he always have just been here? Now, we don't exactly know the answer to that, but we still know it's true. It's like if God is as big as the entire ocean, then our brain is as big as a string bean. It makes sense that we can't fully understand everything about him. So God has always existed. But God didn't just float out in nothingness by himself. He decided to create the universe and everything in it. And because God is perfect and good, his creation was perfect and good. He made everything for a reason, including you. That's why the one thing to remember is that God created all things for good.
Creating something with purpose is kind of like using these blocks. Lots of people think that the world was created by accident, that somehow the world all of a sudden just existed because the circumstances were right. That's exactly like expecting me to shake this box and for the blocks inside to somehow form together on their own and create the boat that it's supposed to become. There's no way that that would ever work. Or how about if I dropped them just out onto the table? Well, that obviously doesn't work either. Now, I could do this a billion times and do it 100 different ways until my arms were tired, and these blocks would never accidentally create this boat without me taking the time to create it piece by piece. And it's the same with the universe. The universe didn't just happen. It was made on purpose by a creator, and that creator was God. Just like these blocks won't accidentally come together just perfectly to make this boat, the universe didn't accidentally come together to make order out of nothing. Order is when things work the same way every time, like gravity or the plants growing and the sunrise that happens every morning and every season throughout the year. God made all things in the universe and he gave them order. God made these things good and perfect. And that's why we enjoy things that are beautiful and perfect and good and right. Those things all have order. We were made to love them and take care of them just like God does. And that's why we can enjoy the things that God has made.
Hi, my name is Brian, and I want to share with you how I enjoy something that God's created. And I have a special friend that I brought with me that I'm going to share with you right now. This is Kona. And Kona is a Kavapoo, and she's 5 months old. And Kona is just a lot of fun to be around. One of the things she loves to do is she loves to nibble on your ear. That's one of her favorite things to do. And Kona loves to play. She's super playful around the house. She loves her big sister, who's another dog that we have at our house. She's a lot of fun, but you know what? She's a lot of work. I have to make sure that she has fresh water and that she has food, and I'm constantly cleaning up after her because she makes a lot of messes. One of the things she leaves around the house are some Tootsie Rolls that don't smell so good. Woohoo! If you know what I'm talking about. You know, the Bible in Proverbs chapter 12 says that a good man or a righteous man tends to the life of his animal. And so when we feed our animals or take care of them or give them baths or clean up after them, we're actually taking care of God's creation. The Bible also says that after God created the heavens and the earth, he said that it was good. And then he gave the responsibility to take care of his creation to Adam and Eve. And now we have that same responsibility, taking care of his creation. But God didn't just want us to take care of his creation, he also wanted us to enjoy it. I love the outdoors. I love trees. I love streams and lakes. I love the sun on my skin. I love flowers and plants and varieties of colors. And so I love God's creation. And so just like how I enjoy Kona, and just like I enjoy the outdoors, you can enjoy God's creation too. And that's one way that my story is tied to God's story, and yours is too.
The very first thing the Bible says in Genesis 1:1-2 is, "In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth." The earth was empty and had no form. But God didn't just leave the universe empty. He was moving and creating. He spoke and made everything out of nothing. And he created the world to have order, to make sense, and to be perfect. He had a reason for making every single thing he made. That's why the one thing to remember is God created all things for good.
You wanna be real? You gotta be honest with yourself. If you wanna be real, you can't pretend that you're someone else. Faking it can get your places sometimes, but you lose yourself on the way. If you really wanna live a good life, be humble, be honest with God, and He'll show you the way. Don't be afraid of what you might feel. He's here for you. You just gotta be real. He knows who you are and knows how you feel. He's here for you. You just gotta be real. If you wanna be real, you gotta admit your mistake. I made mistakes. If you wanna be real, you might want some friends. They can show you grace. We love you, bro. Faking it can get your places sometimes, but you lose yourself on the way. If you really wanna live a good life, be humble, be honest with God, and He'll show you the way. Don't be afraid of what you might feel. He's here for you. You just gotta be real. He knows who you are and knows how you feel. He's here for you. You just gotta be real. Don't be afraid of what you might feel. You just gotta be real. He knows who you are and knows how you feel. You just gotta be real. Don't be afraid of what you might feel. He's here for you. You just gotta be real. He knows who you are and knows how you feel. He's here for you. You just gotta be real.
Thanks so much for hanging out with us today. And I want to go over our verse from John chapter 1, verse 3 and 4. And it says, "All things were made through Jesus. Nothing was made without him. In him there was life. That life was the light for the people of the world."
You guys, we hope you learned something new this week. And remember, the one thing for today is God created all things for good.
And what are some things that you can do about that? You can enjoy spending time outside or thanking him for his creation and even making a list of your favorite things that God has made.
And make sure you're following us at Sandals Kids on Instagram so you can see fun behind the scenes videos and what we're up to. See you next week.